Dozens of migrants are breaking out of a second refugee camp in Hungary, and hundreds more refugees stranded at train stations in Hungary are vowing to walk to the capital of Austria.
There is a standoff between migrants and police. Now, Charlie D'Agata is there.
The standoff doesn't quite cut it this morning. It's surreal. There you've got the migrant train that was stopped yesterday. In front of it, a few Hungarian police standing around, the world's press watching, nobody doing anything about it. Shouting Germany and freedom, the migrant-turned protesters showed little willingness this morning to give up and hand themselves over to police who seemed just as determined to wait this one out. The drama began when desperate migrants packed onto the first train they could at the Budapest station. They thought, or hoped, it would be bound for Germany or that direction. But 45 minutes outside the capital, the train came to a stop. Riot police were waiting. It was a trap. When police started pulling migrants off, others realized what was happening and refused to go. Please. A woman with a baby pled not to be taken away. In the melee and despair, a man they were traveling with grabbed them both and fell onto the tracks. Police wrestled to control the man, then dragged him away. We got on board the next train out, and though this one traveled almost 2 hours close to the Austrian border, it ended the same. There to meet us were dozens of Hungarian police and lines of buses to herd the migrants to refugee camps. For Yusuf and his family from Aleppo, Syria, it felt like the end of the line. Yusuf, what's happened?
They are putting us like animals.
I have 3 babies. They will die. If we stay there in Syria, they will die. We come here to save their life.
And Charlie D'Agata joins us on the phone from Hungary near Budapest. Charlie, what is the scene there today? Are officials making any kind of progress helping with the influx of people?
Well, Elaine, you've got me at a good time because I'm just literally pulled over to the side of the road, and you can probably hear the truck. I'm going to describe what we see. We're about 12 miles outside of Budapest, and there are hundreds of migrants who have begun walking. They said they were going to do it. They said a couple of days ago that they were going to do it. They were stopped at the station. Now they're going, and there is a line of traffic probably 3 or 4 miles long. And as far as the eye can see, these migrants who have started walking, as they promised they would, toward the border with Austria. In the front is a man carrying a European flag with the blue and the gold stars around it. We have left Bicske, where that migrant train is still standing there in this strange standoff. We just got police milling around. There doesn't seem to be any communication with the migrants on board. Seems like the sides want to wait this out. I don't know what the conclusion is going to be there because the migrants certainly aren't going to get off that train, and that train isn't going anywhere.
Charlie, in addition to escaping the horrible circumstances of the Syrian revolution, these migrants are now also worried about being put in these refugee camps, and a lot of them are hopping off the train before they get to what they perhaps presume might be the end of the line where they would be forced into these camps. What are they like? What are they worried about? Because a lot of these camps, we've seen some pictures, they look really horrible.
They are, and people are terrified of that for a couple of reasons. First of all, they've come this far, and we have to remind people, the hardships that they face, in some cases risking their lives, and family members losing their lives in the Mediterranean crossings to get just to Greece and then over to Macedonia. They had to fight to get to Serbia, and now they're in Hungary, and they want to continue to move. The last thing they want to do is to be thrown into these refugee camps. Now, we're not allowed in, and the migrants that are in there aren't allowed out, which is why today several hundred of them are breaking out of 2 camps that we know of because of the conditions. But the way they describe it, people who have been inside those camps, they say it's very cramped. This country is low on resources. Yes, they're getting some water and a little bit of food, they said, but not much at all. The most important thing is they feel trapped. I mean, they feel like prisoners because they don't want to stay in these camps for an indeterminate time to register for asylum here in Hungary when they want to move on. So to them, it's not a refugee camp at all. It's a prison camp.
All right, such a desperate situation there. Incredible reporting by Charlie D'Agata near Budapest. Charlie, thank you.
Thank you.
This devastating, heartbreaking picture of a little boy is shaking the world. Hear about the tragic return home to Syria for a refugee family that never made it to safety, coming up.